Greetings, and just as I press play, my dog starts barking just to spoil the intro. Thank you very much, Sirius. Welcome today to what is my Saturday stream for part of Prem challenge with Leek Town. It's not been going very well. I've got to be honest. I've really been frustrated with this game and done my level best to make this team work. And we looked like we were going to win the league last season, and we bottled it literally on the last day of the season. Then we got to the playoff finals and bottled it literally in the last 15 minutes. We were 2-0 up with 15 minutes to go in the playoff final and lost 4-2. Admittedly, once it went to 2-all, I threw the kitchen sink at the other team, and it didn't work, and we got beat. So we're back into the same National League North for the third season in a row, having already spent 4 seasons in the league below, failing once, twice, 3 times in the playoffs. And so it hasn't worked. So it's been very frustrating. And I got offered an amazing job in the summer from Crew Alex, who, if I just search them up for you now, Crew Alexandra, we click on them. They are in the championship, mid-table team in the championship at the end of last season. And so I could have taken that job, and it would have carried on the theme of Part of Prem, but really jumped the series on. But I turned it down. And the reason I turned it down is because I want to actually do a Crew Alexandra save at some point. And so I wanted to keep that free. I did start one on live streams right way back, possibly even in the beta of this game. But at the time, there was too many bugs and stuff going on. So I did, I think, 1, maybe 2 streams and then left it at that. So I could restart and go again, because I wasn't very happy with the way the game was going, the way that I understood the tactics and stuff like that. Now I know a little bit more. I'd love to give Crew Alex another go. So that's why I turned it down initially. But having seen how we're going this season, I'm thinking that might have been a mistake. I think I should have taken the job. We're 7 seasons in now, and still in the non-league, and we're guaranteed to be in the non-league for at least 2 seasons more. So maybe I should have taken the job when I got offered it, but I didn't. We're here. This is where we're at. I have been trying to sort of get a tactic to work, and I thought I had this particular one that we're using working, and then we lost in our last game. But if you just look at where we started, we played our friendlies as we normally do. Then we played Hyde, good win, gave them a good hiding. Then we played Radcliffe, 4-2, nice victory away from home. Solihull Moors, a good victory, 1-0. They are a good side. Then we played Blythe Spartans, 0-0 draw. That was not so good. Then 3-0 win against Kings Lynn, a 1-1 against Hartlepool. And that's not the worst result in the world, to be fair. But then we lost to Guiseley, absolute nemesis team of mine. Beat Leamington 4-0. Then Chase Town gave us a little bit of trouble in the first leg of the FA Cup, but not so much in the second, when we absolutely hammered them. And Bradford Park Avenue, I should have been showing you who was scoring in these, really. A beautiful win. So everything looks like it's going reasonably well. And then we played Sudbury, who are a decent side, don't get me wrong. But they beat us, and the bit that frustrates me is there's not many slip-ups there in terms of the league. A couple of draws and 1 defeat. You'd think that'd do stand you quite well in the league, but we're in like 5th place or something silly. Let's have a look where we are. Yeah, so we're sitting in 5th place. We are only 5 points off Bury, but this season I want us to be, personally, this is my goal for this season, and where we should have been last season without the absolute bottle job that we did. I want us to be, by the time it comes to the last few games of the season, already decided that we are going up. and that is where I feel we should be. But what I tried to do was condense the squad a little bit and make it so we didn't need so many different positions, but we could actually have strength and depth in the few positions we had. So I decided, tactic wise, to go for this a 4-3-3, where you've got three midfielders who, let's face it, if you've got six midfielders for three positions, everybody's going to get a good amount of game time, and we've got plenty of cover to cover injuries. Three strikers, so if you had 5 or 6 strikers, they're all going to get a reasonable amount of game time, and you can play it. And obviously, we've got a lot of big players, so target forwards is the way to go when you've got them. And then obviously defensively, you've just got your back four to make sure that you've got cover for. And that was my plan with all of that. And that is how I've gone. I do have a couple of backup tactics. This is a more defensive version of the same tactic, really. But I haven't used either of these yet, so I don't really know how they are. And this one is more of an inside forward. So if a team is causing us particular problems, I think I have switched to this a couple of times in later on in games, when, especially probably the draw games, I guess, when we're struggling to break teams down. But as of yet, I haven't seen any noticeable, wow, that's a great tactic to have sort of thing. So none of the tactics are brilliant, but we are scoring goals with this one, except for against Sudbury. So maybe when we come against bigger teams like Sudbury, we need to start considering playing a defensive formation a little bit more. And obviously, if you look at it, it's instructions that are making it more defensive rather than what we're changing within the squad itself. Yeah, so they're the tactics that we're playing. And like I say, the thinking is so that we can have less positions to cover. You see, even if you've got 3 strikers and you just had 4 strikers in your squad, you're going to be able to rotate without anybody getting frustrated, even if it was star player. Now let's have a look at the transfers, because as you'll notice, there's a couple of new names on here that you may not recognise. So if we go to transfer history, so I have progressed it quite a bit into the season, which I wouldn't normally do, but I was so depressed at not going up last time that I decided, with all the changes in the squad, I needed to bed in the tactic, and just not really having the time and energy to do a stream. How would I get on with it? So the players who left, Ethan Brooms, we knew was leaving. Shelton signed a contract with somebody else. Feezy's just gone out on loan. He's one of our youth intake players who's come in and got a few goals for us, and now he's out on loan at Cleethorpes Town. Bradbury left. I was disappointed with Bradbury going, but he didn't want to sign he did want to sign a contract, but it was ridiculous money. So we couldn't agree terms with him. He's gone to Southend, and I can almost guarantee he's not getting paid anything like what he was trying to charge. He wanted us to pay over £1,000 for his wages, so that was never going to happen. And he's not got that where he's gone. But in fairness to him, I think he has gone up in the world, so you can't blame him for that. He went on a free, unfortunately. Utaka out on loan and Finnemore out on loan. Sean Finnemore is not one that we've looked at, really. I don't think he's going to become anything for us. So when they came into loan, I didn't see any issue with sending him out on loan. Highly unlikely he'll make it at our team. But he's just one of a youth team that's coming through. So, players in. Tate Ferdinand. Central defender. Reasonable pace, heading and tackling the market, obviously. All the important stats. Reasonably well-rounded. Not too many holes in his game at all. So I'm quite happy with him. And I think he's in as like a fringe player as well. So he's not he's not a massive drain on the squad numbers. An important player in George Pickford. He's our first choice keeper. He came from Everton. I thought I was signing Jordan, but it turns out it's George. No, I didn't really. I knew it. But he came from Everton. Important player. He's our first choice keeper at the moment and doing pretty good for me. 5 clean sheets in 10 in the league. Only conceded 8. You can't complain at that. Matas Holacek, he's a player who I know from Crew. He's only 26 years old. He prefers to be out on the wing, but we are actually playing him as a central midfielder. But he's okay at that, and he's a good attacking option, in my opinion. He's also scored us a couple of goals, so can't complain at that. Then you've got Case Gordon, nearly called him Jordan. Again, a fringe player who is right back, but I think actually he's probably good enough to be a first choice. But he's signed on a fringe player contract, so he's going to be happy. And then this one is my prize signing. Again, an ex-Crew player. If you wanted to find him today, he's at Crew, but in the sort of like under 21s or whatever team he plays in with them, and he scores plenty of goals, and he's come in for us. We've signed him reasonably late into the season. He's played 4 appearances, 2 from the bench, and 2 appearances in the cup, and he's got 4 goals in those 6 appearances. You can't complain at that output. He looks like he's going to be a very useful player for us. Not necessarily very fast, but his finishing's good, his heading's good. He's got a reasonable height advantage over players, and everything's well rounded in terms of his mentals. So quite pleased to have got him in, and I think he could be quite a key player for us this season. My guess is he will be the top scorer. If we look at the squad, I don't think we're a million miles off seeing who is the top scorer. So Francis Church, who ironically is probably my fourth choice striker, is our top scorer with 7. Big Tell's having a resurgence with 6 goals, and obviously Lucas Swan's got 4. Mark McCarthy, who is really, in my opinion, our best attacker. He's only 19, 20. Yeah, he's turned 20 now. And he's just not doing it this season for some reason in terms of goals. Maybe it's because we've got 2 target forwards. Maybe he's better as an inside forward, which is what I have been playing him as before. I don't know. But yeah, that's the state of play. We're 5th in the league. We've got quite a bit of work to do. Let's get on with it. I don't think we're going to sign any more players, but we'll have to wait and see. I should have showed you our recruitment budgets just to show you how the likelihood of that would be. Recruitment budgets. So we've got £65 per week available. So it's highly unlikely, unless somebody goes, that we will be seeing anybody else come in. I think this is the squad that we're going to have to work with. The biggest issue I've got with my third tactic is I don't necessarily have many wingers that I can use, and that's why that's going to be a bit part tactic. I don't know when is best to use it. Maybe when teams are playing particularly narrow or defensive formations, spreading them out wide like that might be the way to go. In fact, that tactic I think is just very similar to what we were playing last season. But I spent time trying to create something with the 4-3-3 narrow, purely because I just feel like that's where we needed to go with it. So obviously Big Tell is not great in the defensive form of what we're playing, but initially Big Tell was going to be there, and it was going to be Mensah playing this role anyway, but not as a target forward. But Mensah's dropped right out of the picture with us not using the wingers. So Big Tell can play out there, and that's why he's doing it rather than Swan. So we're going to go to this match. This is against Newton Aycliffe, who are a team who are much below us in the league. Hopefully we should be able to dispatch of these quite comfortably. I should just check on that Crutchet, if you look at some of these players, they are playing exceptionally at the moment. Ogbu is one that I'm a little bit concerned that I'm not going to be able to give enough time for. I think I might give him a game today for McCarthy, because McCarthy's not playing particularly great anyway. And I'm just wondering about Unwin getting a game, because he's not had a lot of game time either. And the FA Cup is a good time to do that. So let's take Shepherd out and put Unwin in and see if Unwin, Butler and Holochek. I don't think Holochek needs to be that guy, so not quite sure why he's down in defensive midfield. But yeah, that's the team. Let's see how we can get on in the FA Cup. It's been a bit of a... I was hoping that was loading now. It's been a bit of a slow burner because I'm still sort of like working my way back to where I was up to with this save, because I've been back to my journeyman save, which I've not done on stream for a while. I've decided just to keep that off stream for now, in case I can't get back into it, because I've not been enjoying it. But I have sort of got a 4-3-3 tactic there that's working, but it's a strikerless tactic, which might save my interest in it. But as far as the stream save goes, I think it's done. So this is our team for the FA Cup match against Newton Aycliffe. It's Pickford in goal, Gordon, Brown, Dewar and Crutchet as a defence. Butler, Holochek, Unwin as a midfield, and Big Tell, Ogbu and Lucas Swan as the strikers. You will notice that was a bit strange then. That is because I'm currently waiting to get a assistant manager. Our assistant manager left, and I've got it set for assistant manager to do the talks, and since we haven't got one, nobody did a talk then. That was interesting. That's a bit of a bug that needs sorting out. So this is our first live on-stream game of the new season, Season 7, as Gordon brings the ball to the edge, pulls it back to Holochek, but it was a poor pass. Brown picks it back up, gives it back to Gordon. Gordon again, swings in the cross. Ogbu's at the far post. He's not quite as tall as McCarthy, so not as dangerous as that, but Lucas Swan should have done a little bit better with his header there. He is tall enough to be a nuisance. The highlight rolls on with Edwards. Gives it to Hall. Good tackle from Brown. Holochek sends the ball forward to Swan. Ogbu. There's loads of space on both flanks. Big Tell now plays a nice little ball through to... Oh, my word. What has he just done? Lucas Swan has just missed the sitter. Allegedly, he was offside. That's the only thing that saves face. What a poor shot that was. He'd been put on a plate. Admittedly, they've given offside against him. But wow, that was a bad miss. So we're 15 minutes in, and we do seem to be struggling to break down this team. Big Tell makes a good tackle there, good interception to put us back in control of the ball. Lucas Swan, I think, is offside. He slots it home. I'm not celebrating yet. Oh, no, yeah, it counts. I thought the referee had run back to where it was offside, the assistant referee, I should say. But no, it's not been given as offside. And Lucas Swan has made up for his terrible couple of misses that he's made already to get what I believe is his 5th goal since signing for us. Continuing his good run of form. Francis Church must be sitting on that bench wondering what on earth he's got to do. Top scorer for the team, and he's not getting the game. But like I say, you can have 5 or 6 strikers in this formation and give them all plenty of game time. Dewar, Crutchet. 25 minutes in now. Poor pass from Crutchet. Although made all the poorer by Ogbo not trying to get the ball. And we've allowed them to just score a little sweaty goal. That was pretty poor defending. And that was a total switch off for the defence. I thought we had so many back that we didn't need to worry them. I mean, if you look at that, there's 5 players there. And just 2 in theirs to defend. And not one of them picked up Lane. Lane was all alone. So Pickford holds on to the ball. Will he roll it out or will he kick it out? He'll roll it out. Good. Actually doing what I've told him to do. Gordon takes the ball down. Big Tell. What's he going to do with that ball? He's going to swing it low. Good cross. So we get another chance from the throw-in. Usually you get to see the throw-ins, but just because I said it, we don't get to see it. That was a pretty poor highlight, really. So there we go, half-time. I would say that's been pretty disappointing. We had loads of shots, but not the goals. So we're definitely making a change. And I'm going to bring Francis Church on to play as the target forward. He doesn't like the winger role so much, but I might give Big Tell a rest as well. Let Mensah have a run out. So, bit of a change in the strikers. Mensah is a little bit faster and more committed. I'm going to say I don't like what I saw there because we should be beating this team. They're in a lower league than us. So Pickford plays it out to the wing-back, Gordon, who's charging forward with electric pace there. Swings in the ball, Churches at the far post, hits the post. Not a bad effort. I mean, look at the domination that we're having, but we just can't seem to find that goal that puts us ahead. You can see this being one of those games where you get upset. Polacek does well there to win the ball back after a little bit of sloppy passing, but Duar gives it to Crutchit. Granny Church is fouled, and we will get the free kick. Duar to take. Gives it to Crutchit. Nice, easy, gentle build-up play. Unwin, Crutchit, working the triangles, but we've lost the ball, and Kunku making the tackle there. Pretty sure it's not the one who plays for Chelsea. Why would he be in non-league? Francis Burrell, Hall, they're playing it right back to their keeper. And I'm a little bit concerned with this highlight, because I thought it was ours, and we're struggling, but they've given it back to us. Butler, it's a long highlight where nothing has happened. Getting bored of commentating on it because nothing's happening. Unwin gives it to Church, swings it to Mensah. Good control, has gone for goal, and we've won the corner. We won't get to see it, but we did win a corner. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I've got to try flicking tactics. Don't think there's a massive difference in the tactics that we're doing. There we go. So, McCarthy for Swan. And anybody looking particularly tired? No, but Brown is on a yellow. Let's put Davis on for Brown, which means that These two will need swapping over. And that will be our changes. So playing with a bit of a wider formation now. Instantly, McCarthy getting a good opportunity. But unfortunately, he's put it over. We need to start sticking these goals in. I think we've got an awesome attack for this level. But it just doesn't seem to be working. Holacek gives it to Butler, gives it back to Holacek. Unwin, good ball. Gordon's cross taken off the head of McCarthy. Crutchet gives it to Church, and he gets the penalty. We could be saved by the referee here. The ref's going a bit whistle happy. So Holacek with the penalty. Slots it home, Mattis Holacek. He's one of the players who's really our experience in the team this season, and he is taking hold of that and keeping us really composed. That was a nice finish. So I've got to shout focus. They don't tend to like that shout, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think Holacek's looking very tired as well now, actually. There's a couple of players who are tired. But I'm not going to make any changes. Purely because we've only got one change left. And if we get extra time, I want to be able to make a couple of changes. Time is running out. And there we have it. We have successfully navigated what was a difficult game. We probably should have won by more than what we did. We should have at least had 3 goals, in my opinion. But I would take that as a victory against Newton Aycliffe 2-1. Wasn't a special performance at all, but we seemed to dominate the game, which we should have been doing. I do want to say, if I've missed you in the chat, I don't think my chat is working, and I don't know why. So if you have commented and there's nothing there, I'm really sorry. I don't know what the reason is, but the chat is just not registering it at all. So I don't know what the issue is. I know on YouTube I've got 3 messages, but they're not showing on my chat. So there's nothing that I can do about that at the moment. It needs to be something that I'll work out when I'm not live. It's just not picking it up, and I don't know why. In fact, I'm going to send another one just to check. Let's see if it picks that one up now that we've been live for a bit. No, there's absolutely nothing. So I don't know what's going on there at all. So I probably should be resting these players just in case they're going to be playing in the next one. So picked down to there. That. Rest for 2 days. So I think we're definitely going to have to play Franny Church in this game because we are in danger of him getting unhappy. He is scoring goals for us as well, so it's not like he doesn't deserve to play. It's just a question of who you rest. I mean, Ogbu's definitely coming out, but do we play McCarthy or Mensah? We've got such a wide range of talent in that team. It is awesome. And yeah, I just can't understand how we are not in this, completely untouchable in this league. I think we're by far the strongest team. So maybe my tactics just aren't quite there yet. I've never, ever had a game where it's been so stop-start as this one. You know, usually when you get on a run going up the leagues, you just take one league at a time. But, I mean, it is difficult when there's only one automatic promotion place, but I have never struggled with the playoffs in the way that we have in this game. I want to plan out, actually, our next few games. So we've got Prem, Kettering and Bury, who are all reasonably difficult teams after St Albans. So I'm thinking of giving my defensive tactic a run to see how that does against those three teams. We'll keep the attacking tactic for St Albans. We should be beating them. And yeah, we'll try the defensive one for that. Big Tell has been called up for some international matches, so that's going to give some of our guys up front another opportunity to play. I don't think that's now, though, is it? So put that on combined in case we make any significant changes. So I'm gonna try a complete change of the strikers. I think they could have scored a lot more goals in the last game. So Unwin's had a good game there. I've just realised something with that change I made in the last game. Holochek and Butler need switching around. Okay, so I think, do I want to put Davis in for Dua? Maybe. Or we could put Ferdinand in. Ferdinand is probably slightly better than Davis. And Hall on for Butler. Correa's not quite fitness-wise ready, so we could put him on the bench. And if the opportunity arises, give him a bit of a run out. And we'll keep Clout on the bench for now. Clout is probably not going to be happy with me saying this, so try not to let him hear. But I think he's probably my last choice in terms of midfielders. And it's a shame because he's a good little player, but I just think that maybe he's not good enough. I'm a bit confused as to why I'm not being offered any assistant managers, as my advert failed. Here we go. So, St Albans, I've forgotten who we were playing against then, in the league. A team we should be beating. I will point out, St Albans are the team that ruined my automatic promotion last season. So, if we don't hammer these today, I will be furious. We were 2-0 up against them on the last game of the season as McCarthy heads in the ball from a Matas Holochek cross. Excellent. 1-0, what a start. But we were 2-0 up against them with half an hour to go. And we were cruising to promotion. And then we conceded 2 quick goals and couldn't get the winner. So we drew 2-2, and that cost us the league title and automatic promotion. And then we did exactly the same in the playoff final. So we've got to make up for that this season and give these an absolute spanking. I have noticed they're playing a narrow tactic. It would have been perfect, and still is, I think, perfect for us to play the wider version of our tactic. I don't think much changes, to be honest, just the positions of the front guys. So hopefully that should give us the edge over this team. Shepherd swings in a corner. And Sorrow Brown with the goal. And having 6'8" players in your side is quite useful when it comes to corners. Look at that. Nicely positioned, and that's a good finish. I think he's definitely my favourite defender of all the defenders we've had. And we've had some good ones. Krupchik wins the ball and heads it out. Granny Church brings the ball forward. Nobody's coming to him, so he's able to bring it right in. And Shepherd back to Granny Church. And we have scored. Matas Holacek. I am going to celebrate now because I didn't know whether he was offside or not. So I just held back a little bit because it's you can't be absolutely sure anymore in this game. Nice little 1-2 between Shepherd and Church. And Holacek was there to tap home from short. And 3-0 after 20 minutes. You would hope that we could win this game from here. But as I said, last season we were 2-0 up with half an hour to go and we blew it. So 21 minutes in, we are now having to defend a throw-in from a reasonably dangerous area. Forcing Patton back to the halfway line to Sainsbury's. He crosses the ball, but nobody was shopping. Pickford rolls it out to Ferdinand. Ferdinand gives it to Krupchik. McCarthy just stands there and watches as the defender takes the ball away from him. Patton now. This is 3-1. Seen it all before. Oh, what a save. Pickford makes a great save there. Throw in a dangerous area, but thankfully we don't get to see it. Patton now, they're beginning to sort of dominate all of a sudden, which is a little bit disconcerting. Brown heads it out, the long ball forward. Oh, come on, ref, that was offside, surely. So Day has scored, and I'm not saying we're safe in this game. I've seen it all before with these. He's offside. He's a mile off. Absolutely unreal. That wasn't even tight. 27 minutes in, another highlight, and this time it's us with a dangerous throw. The cross, McCarthy at the far post, heads it over. How did he miss? I mean, way too many highlights in this game so far. I'm almost tempted to give my defensive tactic a run out just because we've never used it yet. Let's see what happens if we switch to the middle one. What I'm hoping will happen is that highlights will cease and we'll win the game 3-1. We have a corner in the 44th minute. Shepherd swings it in. And Thomas Brown wins the header. McCarthy follows up with the rebound. Has the goal. There's no offside. It's 4-1. And that is the defensive tactic bringing the goal. Well, I've got to say, both of those shots were offside, I think. But we'll say that's fair because their goal was definitely offside. So there we go, half time. 4-1. You've got to be very happy with that performance. Address team. I'm very happy. Off we go. So straight into the second half. The pointless highlight is not ending. We've got a corner to defend now. As Tate Ferdinand concedes the corner. Patton will swing it in. Good header from Tomo. But they're on the edge of the area now. Got a lot of players to get through. Across Dudek, good save. Oh, it was a post apparently. I thought the keeper saved it. But we've managed to survive what was a pretty big scare there, but the highlight still goes. Wow, that day is causing all sorts of trouble. And if we look at it, they're getting a lot of shots now, but we are on a defensive formation, so that's probably to be expected. The point is, they've not scored any goals yet. Maybe over the next 3 games, this will get a total run out, and hopefully we'll come away undefeated in those 3 games. That's my plan. Obviously, we can go attacking at any time if we need to. I want to make a couple of changes. One of them being the left back. Wherever, what am I thinking of doing? So, Crutchett is having a quiet game, so we'll bring Correa on for him. Anybody looking specifically tired? Mensah's looking complacent, so I'll bring on Big Tell for him. Harry Clout can come on for Shepherd. And see if he can impress me. Like I say, it's a little bit different, this role. Although I suppose channel midfielder is what I'm playing in the other tactics anyway, actually. So maybe not as different as I thought. Just the whole mentality's not as attacking. So Herbert swings it across. Dudek. Brown just makes the interception. Church plays it out to McCarthy. Correa was going on the overlap, but changed his mind. Comes back to Correa, and then the highlight. Throw it in a dangerous area for us. Hall gives it to Gordon. Gordon chips in the cross. McCarthy, well, I absolutely no idea how he generated the power for that header. But that was a beautiful finish. 5-1. And this has turned into an absolute battering, which is what I wanted, to be fair. So, nice throw-in routine there. I mean, how did he do that? I don't think Varney even expected him to head it. Never mind get it in that direction. 5-1. What a way to pay back a team for stopping us getting promoted. Now Herbert with a throw-in from a dangerous situation. Conroy's a low cross. We've gone and conceded a goal. Pascal Dudek. Poor goal to concede right at the end. But I've got to say, the defensive tactic not really working there. Good quick reactions from Dudek after the keeper made a pretty good save. It's a bit disconcerting, though, when you've set your tactic to be more defensive and we didn't defend. It's a good job we had that big cushion rather than just one goal. That's all I can say. So I'm very happy with the result and the way that they played. So these next 3 games, plus we've got the FA Cup just slipped in, I've just seen. But these next 3 league games are going to be quite important for us, I think. So we are currently 4 points off the top of the league. Guiseley have the top. We've gifted them that. So it's our fault that they're top. But it's good to see McCarthy getting some goals there because he's been pretty poor this season. He was superb in front of goal. Well done, my man. Oh, so we've got Bury twice. So we're not playing Morpeth now. We're playing Bury, Kettering, Bury. So let's get onto our defensive tactic. So beginning to wonder if we needed to drop that mentality to be balanced, maybe. Yeah, I'll do that. That's what we'll do. Let's get to the match day before we pick our squad. I think Bury in the FA Cup is a pretty rough draw, considering. I think we are expected to get to the next round from here in our objectives. So if we fail against Bury, we could be getting a bit of a telling off from the board. If you look at our finances, I don't know if you remember from last season when we got very far into the FA Cup, we requested that they improve the training facilities and improve the youth rating. They did so, but it cost us 1.5 million. So we ended up basically 500,000 in debt. We are slowly chipping away at that, but wow, it's left us really struggling in terms of we need to go up fairly quickly to wipe that debt out, or somebody come in with a really decent offer for one of our players. Hey JP, how are you? I've just noticed my chat started working again. It's not been working. Hope you are well, my friend. We're just trying to get over the disappointment, which, of course, I told you about on your own stream, where we uh, absolutely bottled getting promotion. Not once, but twice. We bottled it in the league itself, and then we bottled it in the playoff final as well. So we've got a few players who we need to get on top of in terms of their training. They're not doing very well. They will be disappearing from the club if they do not improve. So one. It certainly was brutal, my friend. I have never been so depressed at results in a football game. You know, that's not real life. It was unbelievable. So, disappointed Fred Heath and Butler being down there. Those guys are players who I've been developing, and I think they need to put their ideas up if they want to continue to be a part of my first team thoughts. You're certainly right, mate. You're certainly right. It's why we love the game, isn't it? It just seems to me this year though that the FM26 and playoffs. I have seen so many streamers who have got into the playoffs, got into winning positions, and then lost it. It is, I don't know whether it's just something in the game, but I haven't. I don't think I can remember seeing anybody go up through the playoffs. I don't know if you have in any of your streams that you've been doing, but I can't remember seeing anyone promoted from playoffs. Interaction one, criticize trading. And on the plus side, Ruben Shepherd has been pretty good, so we'll give him a bit of praise for his training. Better not be totally negative with the guys. Yeah, I think that's the thing, and the trouble with these lower leagues is only one team goes up automatically, so you've got to win the league to avoid the playoffs, and that's the biggest challenge. Once we get clear of the next league, then it's three or four teams every time, and that is really when hopefully this save will finally start to gather momentum. But when you're in the non-leagues, it can be an absolute grind to get those top positions. Right, we've got the opportunity to find an assistant manager now. We've been waiting for this. This is a bug that they've not fixed. You can't just hover over sometimes when you first come to this screen. You have to click on a player first and then it will work. So at the moment, it's definitely the top guy. He looks pretty good, actually. Nathan Tyson, so we need to remember him. He's winning. We've obviously been missing this for a while because there's plenty of guys applied for it. So I think just have a quick second glance at. So he's reasonable in his defensive and fitness training. Tactical, he's reasonable, but his judging player potential is probably what is attracting me to him. So we'll offer him the job and see where we go from there. Technically, he's saving us some money as well. 2 years is the maximum we could offer him, but we could add a clause, I bet, for a contract extension after promotion. So we've got him for 3 years unless somebody comes to steal him, I suppose. So 180 per week, I would say that's a pretty good deal. And hopefully we'll have an assistant manager, and that'll save me having to do some of the tasks that I've been having to cover. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my chat. It seems to be working with regards to Twitch, but not working for YouTube. Usually it picks both of them up. So I'm having to keep an eye on two different chats. So Francis Church is happy with the football he's getting. I'm not sure why he was unhappy, really. He was always going to get plenty of games in the formation we're playing. Well, thanks for dropping in, JP. I really appreciate it. Good to see you. So we managed to beat Averley to sign Tyson as well. That's good. We will have to pay some compensation for him. I didn't realise that. But we got on, man. That's the important bit. I am very nervous about playing a defensive formation. It's just not in my makeup to do it. So hopefully this works. I'm going to give Correa a chance to start. I've just realised that Holacek is back in that defensive midfield position. So let's put that on combined. I was going to drop Shepherd because I wanted to give Jones a run out. But I can't really do that with the fact that he's training so well. Yeah, I'll happily explain to you. I've actually got 3 tactics this season, which is unusual for me. I usually just work off one, make small adjustments as the game. I think you'll have noticed in the stream when you've been streaming and I've been suggesting little changes in yours. That usually what I would try and do is watch how the game is going. You know, whether teams are pressing you or sitting back on you, and change some little things regarding to that. But this season, I've gone for 3 tactics. My main tactic is a narrow 4-3-3. Probably better taking it onto there so that you can see. So it's a narrow 4-3-3 in attack. I drop these guys wider so that they can follow any sort of like wing backs, is the idea. So that they will drop back with any wing backs who push forward. But coming forward, it's 4-3-3. And the reason I've done this tactic in my mind is because I only need centre forwards, centre midfielders, and then my defensive line to cover. So I haven't got to have multiple wingers, multiple different positions. So it's easy to have a strong squad because any one of these players can play centre forward or target forward. So that's why I've gone for the tactic that I have. In terms of team instructions, there's not a great deal in it. Most of it is pretty basic, if I'm honest. So a much higher tempo. When we get the ball, we're counter attacking. Out of possession is probably the one which is interesting because there's so little on it. So line of engagement is high press, which I think I've got the players for. They're reasonably fast for this division, so that is why. When you go to the defensive tactic, it's more of a mid block, lower line, and that sort of stuff with the defense. So, but it's exactly the same formation. The wingers will track back further in the defensive formation. And then I have got this one sort of like quirky, if things aren't working or I'm against a particularly narrow tactic, I've got one with inside forwards and wing backs to try and overload the wider areas and stretch any sort of like narrow defences. I haven't used either of the last two. I'm about to use a defensive one because we're playing against the best team in our league. But normally I would be playing tactic number one, which is more of an attacking formation. So yeah, that we're going to see how that works. Hopefully we'll be able to keep some clean sheets over the next 3 games, which are 3 quite tough games for us. The first one being today is the FA Cup. And yeah, anything else you want to know with that, JP? The other thing to note is most of my strikers are pretty tall. So that is another reason why I've got 2 target forwards. So Big Tell here, he's my favourite player. He's probably the lowest ranked star-wise. Let's have a look at the team instructions. So it's still standard, and it's actually a slower tempo than my attacking one. But that's down to more accurate attacks is what I'm looking for. You're still counter-attacking. The reason I call it a defensive tactic is because of the block more than what we do when we're in possession. But the slower the tactic, the more accurate your passes are likely to be. But obviously, you run the risk yourself of the other team resetting their defense. But when I talk about more defensive, it's the out of possession stuff. So I'm a much lower line, and that is why it's defensive. So Big Tell, this is the guy who I've told you about on stream. When I got him, he was one of my youth intake, and he was 15 at the time, 6'8" in height. And if you look at his history, he's been absolutely brilliant for me. So last season he had a lot of injuries. So it says 25 appearances, 7 goals, but most of them were substitute appearances coming back from injuries. So the 7 goals is not bad. He's already got 6 and 11 this season. Again, some substitute appearances in that. But if you look at him, 3 seasons, he's 22 now, but in 3 seasons, he's got 24, 23, and 23. So pretty consistent striker. Until last season, he hadn't been injury prone at all. In fact, I don't think he had a single injury, and then he got 2 injuries in the same season. But yeah, he's sort of like been my main reason for sticking with the club for so long is because I've seen players like him come through who I want to see how they develop. And even though he's only 2-star, he's still a big player for me. So okay, let's get into this game in the FA Cup. I think we're going to go with that team. We're giving Jones a run out. I think the squad strength in this team is really good for the positions that we need cover for. So whenever we rotate, we're not particularly weakened in the team. And that's really good to see, to be honest. So it's the FA Cup against Bury. Bury are a bit of a bogey team for us, so it'll be interesting to see how our defensive tactic copes with them. And JP, when you've got teams who are likely to be high pressing you, I would say a low block is a good tactic to have against teams like that. And when a team's sitting back on you, you want to be the team that's high pressing. As Big Tell gets the ball on the wing and gets dispossessed quite easily, but Gordon is able to swing the ball in. McCarthy's at the far post, and McCarthy wins the header. And within 2 minutes, our defensive tactic brings a goal. So that Casey Gordon's looking really useful as a wing back. 15 pace, and his crossing's not bad either. And that is the benefit of having most of your strikers being over 6 foot. There's always a danger when the ball's in the air. So McCarthy wins the ball back. Jones plays it back out to McCarthy, who finds Franny Church. Great ball to Tell. Big Tell tried to pull it back, but a couple of deflections, the ball's gone out for a corner, which we don't get to see. Normally when you play tactics like this, you don't get the possession, but looking at how things are going now, we are getting possession. Have we got a penalty? Well, it is a bonus. Don't know who's taking it because Holicek's not on the pitch. So, oh, it's Shepherd. Shepherd slots it home, 2-0. Wouldn't like to say we're going through in the FA. Yeah, I think you've got to build your tactics around the players that you've got, and having tall strikers. Header goals are pretty common in my game. I think that, you know, I think I have it specifically to cross to the far post as well. So with my two either inside forwards or target forwards, they're always at the far post. And so with the crossing, I've got it designated to go to the far post as well. As we get another cross swung in, and an overhead kick, that would have been a good one to see. McCarthy with the overhead kick rather than the header, but just wide of the post. So this is the first time that we're seeing Berry attack. I thought they had a foul then in a dangerous area, but Big Tell has actually made the tackle, which could be sending us away again. That's a nice finish from Ash Carter-Rogers. Not a lot Pickford could have done with that. It was just a well-worked goal. I mean, they're running off the ball there. If you look at the players who they've got running, that's going to be pretty hard to stop without a back three, because they've got players coming from all over the show into a narrow area there. There's not a massive amount you can do with that. So a corner from Shepherd. Hall now. Gives it to Jones, back to Shepherd. Tomo with the header at the back post. Again, Thomas Brown is another tall player for us, 6'8". He's quite handy to have around. So we're doing well at winning the ball back, which is all we can ask. Big Tell again finding a bit of space. Can he get the ball across? Church is in the middle. McCarthy's there now. And Hall, on the edge of the area, slots it into the top corner. That is a beautiful finish. 3-1. This is... I've not really tried this tactic out much, but it's actually... I'm getting quite excited. I don't like using defensive tactics, but Bury are not coping with this, and Bury are a team who I've found very difficult to beat. It was a good goal. Yeah, I think with a short striker, I think you've got to sort of like get the ball to their feet, or either that, or if they've got a high line of defence, then obviously you can play the ball into space for them. But low crosses and stuff like that are essential when you've got a short striker on the team. I should know that because when I used to play football, I was a short striker. I think we can be happy with how that has gone so far. That has been a perfect start to the game, if nothing else. Yeah, what I'm quite pleased with is our possession in this game, because I wasn't expecting us to be ahead in terms of possession. I thought that they would actually dominate and maybe we could get them on the counter attack, but yeah, I did that in Mongolia as well, because most of the defenders in Mongolia are like 5'10", 5'11". And that was what I did. I got a tall striker, and he seemed to do pretty well. It was very rare to see a defender who was over 6 foot. As Gordon brings the ball forward, and the highlight ends. It was in such a good position, and then the highlight just finished. We probably should look at giving some players a bit of a run out for the last 15 minutes or so. So if Swan comes on for Franny Church, we do have for Tomo Brown. We don't want him getting injured. Clout can come on for Shepherd. How's McCarthy looking? He's playing well, but he is quite tired. I might give Ogbu a run out for McCarthy. Let's leave it at that, just in case we get an injury. I think we're risking a bit if we go and stick five players on. You guarantee the next thing you'll get is an injury to somebody. So as time ticks away, this could be a fantastic FA Cup performance. And I think that sees us into the first round proper. Last season we had a fantastic run in the FA Cup, got to the 4th round, where we got to play Arsenal. And to be fair, we gave Arsenal a good game. And it certainly helped us financially. Except for the board decided that we're going to improve the training, we're going to improve the youth facilities, and spent £1.5 million, and we're now 400,000 in debt. So we blew that money in an instant. So 3-1 FA Cup. Let's hope we can do that in the league as well. I think you're using a reasonably counter-attacking tactic, if I remember correctly, JP, from the streams that I've been watching. Yeah, flat back 7. Two sat behind the striker. Charge forward as soon as you get the ball. I've seen you. So McCarthy again. It's good to see him back in form because he'd been pretty poor for the start of the season. So once again, we'll give him a bit of praise because he's won us a good game there. Yep. So we've made it to the FA Cup. I'm not sure what this is saying the objective is. I'm assuming it's because we've reached the FA Cup first round proper. You've had a couple of good players though. That Valencia was scoring for fun for you, wasn't he, when I was last watching? That's another part of FM that keeps us all hooked, is these players who begin to mean something for us just because of how they performed in a particular save. One thing I found really difficult until the last couple of iterations of Football Manager is separating the real life player from the player that you have in the game. So when you take over a team, for example, if you took over Man United and you've got a real affection for one of the players, say Bruno Fernandes as an example, and you don't want to get rid of him and that you get too attached to him. But you got to remember, in this game, they're not the same player as they are in real life. So sometimes it's better to get rid of them for the big money that they offer and build your own team, because otherwise you're too attached. But then you'll find these players in game who are probably rubbish outside of the game, but they just become absolute legends for you, like you say. So So this game is against Kettering Town, who currently sit ninth, but they are a little bit better than that, if we're honest. I'm going to keep with the defensive tactic just to give it a good run, because we've got Bury next again. Obviously, against Bury, we're going to play the defensive tactic, but I'd like to give it a couple of games just so that we can see whether that is a solid enough tactic or not. The other one, I'm happy with the attacking tactic because it seems to be winning us most games. But this one, if we can still pick up wins whilst being defensively solid, I'll be happy. If we're conceding goals, it's obviously not doing its job. So that will be obviously another thing we'll have to find out. Let's have a look at the shape of the players. Everybody seems reasonably fit. I don't see any reason to change the team from what we've just done, because they played brilliantly in that game. I don't see any reason to change that. So let's go to the match and see how we get on in this game. Yeah, totally get that, JP. It's one of those things, isn't it? I actually never manage the team I support because of that very reason. So I quite often manage teams like Crew Alex or teams who've got a renowned youth system, because I really like bringing youth players through more than signing players. So I like clubs that have got no money and have to work in a different way. It's very rare you'll see me manage a Premier League team. I tried Crystal Palace this season and I got sacked within 6 months because Well, actually, it was a bit harsh. I wasn't actually doing that bad, but they had a board takeover and sacked me. But I couldn't get into the game because it's just not the way I normally play. It's normally a very small team building up with players that you've never heard of, and I think that's just the way I enjoy it. So this is the team for our National League North against Kettering. George Pickford in goal, Casey Gordon, Thomas Brown, Tate, Ferdinand and Carrera. Gareth Jones, Ty Hall and Ruben Shepherd make up the midfield, and Big Tell, Mark McCarthy and Francis Church, the centre forwards. Yeah, the good thing with a journeyman as well is that you can, you get in the save, you get to build new teams every 2 or 3 seasons as you move around. That's the thing that I've enjoyed with the journeyman save I've been doing. So Correa in the 8th minute with a throw in a dangerous area, but Shaw dispossesses Shepherd, and Kettering come onto the attack now with Pollock. He's all on his own. He's got one player now arriving in support. And it's well held up, and that's a nice finish by them. But that's got to be pretty disappointing defending. We had plenty of players back to deal with that, and not one of them put the tackle in. Another thing you can do also is take players with you as you move around clubs. That's always quite fun as well. So a long ball forward. McCarthy wins a header. Reaver catches. I think we can see very early on this tactic is not working against Kettering. The long ball forward. Haim. Carley. Can't read his name. I thought they'd fix this rain, but it seems to be raining every game again. And I bet you'd take him again if you moved to a bigger club. Shepherd swings in the corner. They've won the header. Correa now. Ferdinand gives it to Hall. Thomas Brown tries to chip it for Big Tell. Gordon will pick it up. The ball has not gone in as he intended, but Jones on the turn was not far off. I'm going to switch to the attacking purely because it's not worth defending when you're behind. We'll just try, see if that little change brings us a bit better fortunes. I mean, we are in control of the game, just not in terms of the scoreboard. Big Tell holding up the ball now. Has lost it to Smith. Forrest, run. Gordon gets the ball off him, swings in the cross. McCarthy's at the far. What was that? That was a poor header from McCarthy. We're gonna quickly shout the man more. See if we can get it in before half time. There is a highlight before the end of the half. Hall. We've won the ball back from the goal kick. Gordon. Go on, run with it, Gordon. So Big Tell and Gordon, neither of them wants to make a run, but Hall has made a run. The ball is crossed in and Franny Church gets the finish. 1-1. Sometimes it's more of having the player in your team or in your squad because of the sentimental value, though, than it is whether he's capable of being at that level. I always remember Dr. Benji bringing Danny Graham to different clubs that he was nowhere near capable of playing for just because he's a player who did well for him in previous saves. And it can be the same in journeymans, really. So we've still got a good chance in this game. We've been dominating the game. We've managed to get ourselves level. Nobody is massively underperforming. Shepherd is potentially, but McCarthy is looking very tired. I don't know if he's picked up a knock. So let's bring Lucas Swan on for McCarthy. Oh, he can't do it from this screen. That's something that needs changing. So Lucas Swan. Oh, didn't want Big Tell. I wanted McCarthy. And what we'll do is we'll put Franny Church as the wider player of the two. Swan has been doing excellent as that front striker. How are you, Liam? Hope you are well. That's impressive. Now my YouTube's working on that. That chat has not been working all day for the YouTube comments, and now it's working. I don't know what's changed, but something's fixed. I hope you're well, Liam. So on to the second half. Shepherd swings a long ball, and Hall is not going to run onto it, so that was obviously the pointless highlight. Hall gives it to Swan. Sells Big Tell a bit short, but they've won the ball back. Everybody stood on everybody's toes there. We've hit the post. The ball is hooked clear, and we could be countered here. This is a bit worrying. Brilliant from Gordon. Just what we wanted to see him doing. Using his pace to get in front of the attacker and win the ball back for us. We could really do with a goal here. So we're going to shout and encourage them. Hopefully that will spur something and give them a bit of confidence to stick the ball in the back of the net. This is looking at the moment like one of them frustrating draws that you get where you completely dominate the game and just don't get the breakthrough. Big Tell. A low cross inside of the post from Swan. So a good cross. Church is waiting at the far post, but they've managed to close it down. Plays it out to Correa. Jones gives it to Hall. Goes out for a corner. Did you get anywhere with your West Ham save? Did you win the league in those 5 seasons? So I think we need to make another consideration on the tactic to see if we can find a way of breaking them down. So I'm going to switch to the wider one and bring Mensah on for Big Tell. Again, put Church out wide. Do we give Ogbu a chance as well? Church has not scored, has he? Or did he score? Yeah, he did score, but I don't think he can play the inside forward role as well. So we'll make that change and perhaps bring Clout on for Shepherd. So that is not an injury that we wanted to see. If we're short in any of the roles, it's the right back role. So Crutchett will have to play out of position. Wonder if we could have him more as a inside wing back, as an outside. Maybe that will help him coming onto his left foot a little bit more. Yeah, I would say that's quite an acceptable save with West Ham. To be fair, a couple of league titles. Who was your best player? As Ogbu brings the ball forward. Crosses the ball in. Swan is waiting. Again, it's a poor header. We should have won this by 4 or 5. We've got 25 shots. And we've only managed 1 goal. Ferdinand, Correa. Obviously in a hurry because there's loads of time left. Get a ball forward, you clown. Ogbu wins the ball. Can he swing the cross? He looked like he was going to lose it then, but he's managed to turn his player inside out. Gone for goal, forces a corner. We've got 5 minutes here, guys. There's time to do this. I've got to try something counterintuitive. Got to go much more direct, but lower the pace. Don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll give it a go. So 1-1, disappointing draw, but again, it is a team that could have caused us problems. So we will have to take it on the chin, but we did dominate them. That's something to be, I suppose, happy with in terms of our tactics. The momentum-wise, they were never in that game, and somehow they've managed to come away with a point. Hugo Larson. Is that in real life you're talking about now with Sunderland? I haven't been keeping up with the football scores because I think my team are playing at the moment, Luton as well. I've just not been keeping up to date with what's happening in it, to be honest. Let's have a quick look. Oh yeah, my team are doing the usual and losing. Need to check out how long have we got him on contract for, Big Tell. We've got him for 2 more years guaranteed. I think if he gets promoted, can you view their contracts anymore? One thing I'd say, Liam, is that I've really enjoyed the journeyman save that I did. I focused on a continent. I uploaded. Cheers for that, JP. Um, I uploaded a load of Asian leagues and just played in countries I'd never managed before. And I've got to say, I found it a little bit complicated at first when you learn the systems, but I really enjoyed it. And basically, in that, it's more about tactics than it is about players because of the lower level of the game as well. So I found it really enjoyable going through that. I went from Laos to Mongolia to Jordan and then into China. And honestly, it was a save that I wasn't expecting to get into, but I really did. Honestly, did. It's one of the rare times I've stepped away from England because I love building these teams from the lower leagues to the Premier League. But one thing I'd say is this Leek Town one has been the hardest one that I've ever done. We're in season 7 now, and still not in the football league yet, and still a couple of years at least away from the football league. So what are we looking for? The clauses. So no, I've got him till 33 guaranteed, and then I'll have to make a decision on him. I was hoping that if we got promoted, he'd get another year or two. But anyway, he's not on a lot of money. I think £300 a week. It's not too bad. So even if he wasn't playing every week, he'd still be a decent player to have on the bench to bring on when you need to score some goals. So Fraser Clark stands out, but he's not going to be a player who I think does anything for me. I think that's one thing that's been a bit disappointing with this save is apart from the players that I got early on, I've had no decent youth players come through. I think Mensa was the last decent youth player that I had come through. So is Banks our only option for right wing back? Because if he is, that's annoying. That Gordon was playing so well for me. His pace is really useful. How long's he out for? 2 to 3 months. That is bad news. I think we might be raiding the loan market. In fact, before we go on to the game, it's an important game. Let's see if we can find a player who is available for loan. Uh, Edit. Let's clear all that. And no, we don't want contract. We want loan. Listed. Apply. Loan only. And actually, let's go interested so that we're not messing around with players who we can't trust to come to us. So he's got 14 pace. His crossing's not great, but he's not going to be here for. But didn't put the position, so he's not the position that we want either. That would have helped, wouldn't it? So uh, now let's see who we've got. Nobody looking good. That's an annoying thing. Need to extend that so I can actually see who the clubs are. I think ideally we want to look at somebody from a higher division if we don't know who they are, do we? And perhaps get some sort of loan sorted out. Who are higher than us? Reading must be higher than us. Bristol City, they're definitely one of the higher teams. And that guy's actually been from Liverpool as well. So he's come through Liverpool's academy. Scout the players for 1 week. Bournemouth, we've got a player from Bournemouth. And I think that's the last one. We'll get a scout report on him. And hopefully we'll get somebody in to replace that right back for a few months. Should check the team, make sure everybody's fit. Good job I did. McCarthy is not. So we'll switch Big Tell and Mensah around. Mattis Holicek can come on for Jones. Just want to keep an eye on Swan. I don't want him getting frustrated in the lack of games. I think I'll play him because we don't want him getting annoyed. He's actually, I think, my best striker, but with the rotation that we're doing, he has been out of the side for a few games. And I think that's where we're going to leave it, I think. Go to match. So we beat them 3-1 in the cup. Let's hope we can repeat that in the league. So here's our team for the National League North game against Bury. We are at home, but we will be playing our defensive formation. It's Pickford in goal with Banks, Brown, Ferdinand and Correa. Holicek, Hall and Shepherd in midfield. Mensah, Big Tell and Lucas Swan up front. The question is whether Bury will turn up to this game or not. Last game they were pretty poor, it's got to be said. Mensah makes a good early tackle in the pointless highlight. Mensah now, Holicek tries a good through ball, just cut out by the defender. They send it long. Brown was not very composed with his first header away. Now Shepherd plays it to Big Tell, goes out wide to Correa. I think Correa's going to be important today. That's a good ball by Correa. And what a finish from Big Tell. Who said that height is his only ability? What a goal. Yeah, Correa's going to be quite important today. With us losing the fast player on the other side, I think he's going to need to get himself forward a little bit more. That was a top finish from Tell. So once again, we've had a good start against Bury. And if we can pull out a win here, I would say that we've had a good run of games. Correa, again, swinging the ball long. Will Holicek get to it? He won't, but he has got it now. Shepherd. Gives it back to Hall. Hall finds Mensah in a bit of space. Swings the ball in. Big Tell's at the far post. Should have done better in the air. So Pickford now has the ball. Gives it to Ferdinand, who chips it up, but it's a poor one, and Carter Rogers has snuck back in. This has got to be a goal. It looked a goal from the moment we gave the ball away, and Peterbred has scored. as he quite often does against us, it has to be said. They've got 2 injured strikers on their pitch. And yet still is scoring goals. Doesn't seem fair if you ask me. So we're 37 minutes into the game. Bury are probably the team on top, if we've got to be brutally honest. Correa plays the ball to Swan. Plays the ball to Big Tell, who continues the ball onto Holicek. What a finish. And that was a great move. Every pass was a progressive pass. And put the ball through. I mean, Swan, he would be a good target man. Held the ball up, gave it to Big Tell, who did exactly the same. Gave it to Holicek. Holicek with a good finish. And I would say that was a good team goal and what counter-attacking football is all about. Reminds me a little bit of what we saw Man United do against City last week. Every time they got the ball, it was direct and they were lethal with it. So Brown wins the header, gives it to Shepherd. Plays the ball out to Mensah. Mensah will take it down the wing. He's got 2 players to aim at in the box. He's luckily got through and Big Tell will slot home. And all of a sudden, this is looking comfortable again. I had my doubts that we were going to get them twice in a row, but now I'm beginning to believe we might just do it. I will not presume we've been in a lead too many times with Leek Town and blown 2-goal leads, so I'm not going to presume we're going to win. But at the moment, things are looking good. Well, that, to me, was the perfect first half. The players recovered well after conceding a goal. They're playing against a very difficult team, using our counter-attacking tactic, and everything has gone to plan. Energy-wise, everybody looks okay, so I'm going to start the second half with the same team. As Correa gives it to Big Tell with a pointless highlight. Must remember, it's the pointless highlight. Nothing ever happens with this highlight. Shepherd pulls it back to Big Tell. And I thought we were in then for a second. But now the counter-attack is on. We have got plenty of players back to deal with this. But will we? I would say that's a good tactical foul there by Shepherd. Can we defend the free kick? Big Tell heads the ball out. Close him down now. Close him down. I mean, there's an absolute wall of players there. He's done well getting the second shot right away through them. But my goodness, that was a scary moment. It's got to be said. Here we go. We've got the attack now. Correa runs the ball to the byline. Doesn't get the cross in. Quirky brings the ball out for Bury. Once again, we're having to defend. And this time, they have got numbers on us. Dixon Bonner at the far post. Swings the ball across again. And this is... Well, what a save that was. I'd given it up as a goal. It has to be said. But somehow we've managed to keep the ball out. On to the hour mark. We've got to think about changing some players here. Big Tell's on a hat-trick. I can't take him off yet. He's going to get a bit longer. The strikers, I don't think I can make a change with them. They're all playing too well. I think I'll bring Jones on and drop Holicek back into the defensive midfield role. probably a little bit better as an attacking midfielder. And we'll give Crutchett the role that Correa has been running. Correa's played well, so he's not going off because he's played badly. Duar can come on for Ferdinand. So Burton, Dixon Bonner hits the crossbar. That was a close one. Berry are beginning to put us under a lot of pressure in this game. Crutchett wins the ball well there. Has he got a pass? No, he tries to buy a foul. Looked like a dive to me. But it was the end of the highlight, so we'll never know. So Berry look like they're coming on the attack again. Edozie picks up the ball in a dangerous area. It's swung to the far post. Darcy wins a header. Finds they seem to be getting the ball from every single little knockback and stuff. We need to be getting on with that. We're going to shout focus because they need to concentrate here. This is a little bit uncomfortable, I've got to say, sitting here. I am considering whether I need to drop a player back. I haven't really got the substitutions to do it. I'll bring Clout on for a little bit of game time. He does need some. And Big Tell can come off for Franny Church. Basically, he's done his job today. It'd been nice for him to get the hat-trick. I will say it's his fault for missing that header early on, that he hasn't got the hat-trick, but he's on a yellow card. He's getting tired. We don't want to get a player sent off. So, into the dire moments of this game, Crutchett makes a superb tackle there, and we break away. Gives it to Church. Back to Crutchett. Nice work so far. What's he got at the end of it? He's into the box. He's gone for goal himself. Really needed him to cross it. We have a corner, but it's all wasting time. It's all good. And there we go. 3-1 for the second time. That is a fantastic result against Bury. That is going to leave us, it looks like, in 4th position. 4 points behind AFC Sudbury. But I think they are a team we can catch. It's teams like Guiseley and Bury who are going to be the teams that are going to be pushing us all the way this season. Sudbury had a good finish to last season, but they fell short in the playoffs. Just like we did, I suppose. But I think we've got a real good chance against them. I'm going to use this moment just to go and take a quick break, nip to the toilet, but I'll be back in a few minutes' time. Okay, so we are back, and I would say that we're doing reasonably well. Just, I do feel like we need to be dominating the league this season, so we haven't got the same issues that we've had before, where we're relying on winning on the final game of the season and stuff like that. That is something that we need to be trying to avoid as best as we can. I think we'll definitely be going back to our attacking formation, and I think we'll do that quite out. Have we, in those 3 games, did we notice a massive improvement in our defensive work? Not convinced that we necessarily did. We still conceded a goal in every game. My dog is going nuts because the cat has decided to go inside a bag. Don't know why it feels like the cat can't do that, but hey ho. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to change the tactics, make sure that we've got them on the right one when we come to that game. Because it'd be silly to go into a game you'd expect to win on the defensive tactic. But yeah, I don't think we've necessarily been more defensively solid. We've definitely invited more pressure in those games. But we scored goals, which is still, a good thing when you're on a defensive tactic and still scoring goals. 7 goals in 3 games. It's not too bad. At least it gives me a reasonable amount of confidence with 2 out of the 3 tactics that we have. The third one, yet to see whether that is going to be effective or not. So yeah, that cat hiding. We've got to do a team reset to try and get ourselves what the assistant manager thinks is the best team. Interesting how he's put Jones on this time. That surprises me. That I don't think there's ever been a point where he's seen Jones as the best one. I'm going to disagree with him a little bit. Put Jones on the bench, but I'm going to give Harry Clout a run out. I think he needs a run out. He's not played many games at all. In terms of happiness, morale, everybody seems pretty good at the moment. Unwin and Butler look like they're players who might want a few games. How is Hall looking for his? Well, he's really happy. So I would suggest that perhaps we could play Unwin as a defensive midfielder and give Hall a break from the side. Do we want him on the bench? Yeah, let's take Ogbu off and put Hall on the bench. Like I say, having these 3 central midfielders, 3 central attackers, rotation is going to be really important to keep everybody happy. When you've got 5 or 6 players in each position, they're all going to want a reasonable amount of playing time. So rotation is important. But it could also be costly. I do recognise that. So Ilkeston are a team who I would hope we could win. McCarthy gives the ball to Unwin. We're in the 3rd minute of the game. Hopefully this is a sign that we're going to be dangerous in the attack. McCarthy played through here. Swings the ball across to the far post. Swan hits the crossbar. Interesting that our assistant manager went for Francis Church and Swan in the same team. Brown and Unwin. Clout. Some little turns on the ball there, which are quite amusing to me. Every player going for the same move. Holacek gives it to Swan, who chips the ball over Harry Clout. Great run through, and McCarthy cannot miss. Open goal. 1-0. 7 minutes on the clock, and we have the lead. It'd have been nice for Harry Clout to get that goal, I will say. But he certainly had an involvement in the goal, even if he's not been given the assist. So Banks plays it to Brown. Still in the first 10 minutes of the game. Ferdinand brings the ball forward, plays it to McCarthy. Goes to Crutchett outside. And Crutchett puts a low ball in, and McCarthy does well to swing it in. And Matas Holacek is there again. That's his 4th or 5th goal. He's been important to us this season. I wasn't sure whether it was a good idea signing him or not, because financially he was a bit of a risk. Takes a lot of our wage budget. But he's doing good for us. And that's another composed little finish by him. Obviously, with his game time that he's had in Crewe, he is one of our more experienced players. Right, Billy, feel free to disappear to another house. So, long ball forward from the keeper, which we've managed to recover. Clout now charging through. Comes back to Crutchett. Crutchett to the far post, Church, and that was close. Ronnie Church nearly arriving at the far post at the right moment with the header. We have created a lot of highlight chances in this game. That is pretty good to see. We've only had 7 shots, but at least 4 of them have been on the highlight reel. Of course, 2 goals in that as well. Brown, Crutchett does well to win that ball. Had to be quite brave. Now Crutchett brings the ball forward, swings it across. Franny Church is there again. He's getting his positions absolutely right. Franny Church, just a shame he's not been able to apply the finish. We've definitely seen the midfield more involved in the attacking movements in this tactic. Probably less so in the previous tactic. There's Brown, Banks, Church. Plays the ball to Holacek. He's a good winger, so seeing him out on there, he should be quite comfortable. He gets the cross in, McCarthy heads it over. Really could have been a good opportunity there. Now Holacek swings in the corner. And Tate Ferdinand has scored. I'm assuming it counts because it seemed a pretty low-key thing. We were celebrating, but the referee didn't seem to move particularly. But Tate Ferdinand, I think that's the first time I've seen him score. I might be wrong. But not very often I get corner goals, so I've definitely got to take that. And I would say that 3-0, if that's what it stays half-time, that's a fairly productive first half. We can live with that. Well done, boys. Excellent first half. You're doing brilliantly. let's give him a bit more praise than our assistant manager really wants us to. Anybody looking particularly tired? There's a lot of complacency. I think Harry Clout's got a harsh rating there. But we'll keep the same team for the second half for now. And maybe on the hour mark, look at making a couple of changes. So now we can shout. I will shout focus. Just because we need to make sure that we're on it. Don't allow them back in. So Tola on the wing for them. McCarthy makes a good interception. Pickford sends the ball long. Swan is chasing. Does not win though. Tola again picks up the ball. Gives it to Fairclough. Some good runs being made here. And that was a superb little knock through. He might be offside though. The assistant's got his flag up. It was a question of whether that header just took him into an offside position. So a lucky escape, but we got away with it. Crutchett wins the ball in another dangerous situation. Now Holacek plays the ball out. Will Frannychurch run for it? I thought he was going to let that player overtake him then. That would have been an instant substitution. He crosses the ball. McCarthy picks it up on the far side. Swings the ball in again. Lucas Swan is underneath it. Hits the post. Frannychurch back in again. Harry Clout. How this has not gone in again, I do not know. 3 opportunities to get a goal from that one attack. Let's make some changes. So, Frannychurch can come off for Big Tell. Swan can come off for Mentor. Davis for the goal-scoring hero Ferdinand. And yeah, Crutchett's done okay, but he's not like a player who's irreplaceable. So Correa will come on for him, and we'll keep the one sub in case we get an injury. Clout gives it to Davis. Back to Clout. A long ball forward. Mensa can't win the header. Henderson now for Ilkeston. Gives it to Lynch. A lot of space on this wing. What is going on with our defence? Brown. A bit nervous when he played it back to the keeper. But now the ball has gone out. Forward throw for Ilkeston. What are we doing, guys? Get control of this. Never know what to shout in these situations. The other team are clearly getting on top. They've scored a goal. And we are not concentrating. But if you shout focus, it seems to have a detrimental effect. I may even switch to the defensive tactic. Let's do it. Don't just talk about it, do it. Banks wins the header, gets it to Big Tell. Holacek now. Back to Big Tell, and again Holacek. Holacek charging through. Gets a chance of a shot. The keeper deals with it well. Long ball forward. We've got plenty of players back. Davis wins the header. That is the end of the highlight. Ilkeston have definitely been much better this second half and come right back into the game. But when you've got a 3-0 head start, you should be reasonably safe. It's just, I've never trusted us with that, if I'm honest. I'm thinking we haven't kept a clean sheet for a while. I might give Heath a run in the side. Just for 2 or 3 games, just to see if that will encourage Pickford to concentrate a little bit more. I think we've got a good enough defence to keep clean sheets, but we just don't seem to be capable of doing it. Big Teller's found a place unmarked, but he's headed it over. I mean, that's the end, and another good 3-1 victory away from home. We've overcome a side that second half proved quite tricky. First half, we absolutely battered them. Still, we can't make any headway against the teams above us. It is really bugging me. We are in fantastic form and just cannot get past the teams above us. So McCarthy seems to have really resurrected his form, so we can't complain too much about that side of things. We've got the scout reports in now for a right back. Let's see who is the best out of these. That's not a very helpful screen there. It's not actually telling me his star rating or anything. That has changed. What's going on with that? Why are you not giving me his star rating on there? Obviously not scouting him enough to get a star rating. But he's actually a right winger anyway. He's not even in the right position. So Owen O'Keefe. He looks like a good possibility. And Elwyn Thomas. So let's have a quick look at the statistics on Elwyn Thomas that we have. Tackling and marking are good. Pace is going to be okay. The worst it'll be is 10. He's better as a centre back. So Owen O'Keefe was the other one that looked quite interested. 12 for pace, so we know exactly how fast he is. He's very strong on his right foot, which is what we want. Bravery is good. Tackling is good. Marking's okay. Let's see what they will let us have it for. Who is it that we're dealing with here? Is it Bristol City? No, it's Reading. Right. Make offer. Loan. Oh, we got to pay money for him. I wasn't really anticipating that, but I don't think I want to give him important player. Let's see if he'll do regular start. I want him on defender left. This could be an issue for us. Ugh. I've got to negotiate the other guy as well, just because I don't think that was the right deal for us, even though I've accepted it. Let's have a look at Hutton. We haven't got enough information on him to make a decision. And what was Masoodi like? That I don't know. He's only got 10 pace, so he's not as good. But he might do as a stopgap. He's definitely not as good, actually. Elwyn Thomas. I think they're going to want him to play as a centre back. Squad player is good, let's go with defender right and see whether they'll accept that. No, we're out with that one as well. So now we go to our affiliate team and see whether they've got anybody who potentially would come to us. We want to go for the under 21s. Best position, defensive. They haven't got any right backs. They've got a lot of strikers in their under 21s. What about their under 18s? Only 8 players in there. And no defensive rights. We're going to have to try and go for that guy and see if he'll accept us. It's not ideal, and I don't think he'll be lasting with us very long because he's not going to get important player once our player's back. In fact, I think I've made a decision already that we're not going to take that loan. I think it'll send us over our wage budget, and he's not good enough to do that. So if we go to recruitment, transfer activity, let's withdraw that. I think we'll just have to manage without until that moment comes. So we've got Halifax in the FA Cup in a couple of games' time. Let's have a quick look at what they're up to. They're in the National League. Where are they in the league? So they're struggling in the National League. I think we have a chance against them. I think that's the FA Cup first round as well. If I'm, I think I'm right with that. Yeah, so it's the FA Cup first round. What we'll probably do is those 2 games, and then that will probably do me. We've done an entire month then, effectively, and I think we made some good progress again so far. Dare I say it? Before we played a match, we've not lost. We've had 4 wins and a draw, so we can be very happy with the way the form's gone. So hopefully we can pick one more win up in the league, and then we'll be looking at the FA Cup just to close off the stream. Oh. So Banks is tired, but we can't replace him because we haven't got it. Gordon's injured, isn't he? So we can't use him anyway. Let's put Duar on the bench because then we can perhaps play him on the right if necessary. Who do we replace him with? Probably no, not Davis. Davis is too good. Oh, I don't know who to replace him with. Well, let's not have a keeper on the bench. We are going to play Heath in goal for a few games just to give him a little bit of a run. Don't want to get him too disillusioned as the backup keeper. Butler for Unwin. Correa for Crutchett. And Brown does need a rest. That's really putting the cat among the pigeons for us. I think Duar's going to have to start, isn't he? That was not in the plan. I'm going to take Swan off and put Big Tell on as well. That will be the team which will take on Alfreton. Banks is not fully fit, but there's not a lot I can do about it. I mean, we could always push Mensah back if necessary. He doesn't play that position, but sometimes when you want somebody attacking, that is the way to do it. But there's the team. Hopefully it's capable of beating Alfreton. This is one of those games that could go either way. Managed to resist commentating the pointless highlight. And now we come on to a real highlight. And it's possibly going in the way of Alfreton. As that guy with a very long name brings it forward. We've managed to win the ball back, but we are currently with the whole team defending. A long ball forward though, and what is going on there? He was offside, so that was lucky, because that keeper ran for nothing. He was never going to get to that ball, so I don't know what he was doing. But I'm not happy with what I'm seeing here at all. We are not looking good. Abbey picks up the ball for them on the left. A low cross into Samuels. Back to Abbey. It's come in and we've not dealt with it again. What are you doing? Berating the team in the 5th minute of the game, 6th minute of the game. Shouldn't be having to do that. They are just not on the ball at all here. So an immediate highlight. We swing the ball in. And a penalty. Church is pushed over by Logan Pye, ex-Man United player. So Matas Holacek slots it home, 1-1. We can start again now. Back to where we initially were. We need to get hold of the ball and actually control this game. If we can't do that, we're going to have to go defensive. But I wouldn't have said personally that Alfreton were a team that we would be needing to play that defensive tactic at home. Correa now picks up the ball. We're in the 16th minute of the game, and Correa, overlapping McCarthy, has got it all the way down to the byline. Swings in the cross. Big Tell is at the far post. He can't win the header, but he can win the ball and keep it in. Gives it to Banks, swings it back in. Church is waiting. Church with the header. The flag has gone up. Shouldn't be offside in those situations for me. Was about to encourage, but we have another highlight. The ball has gone long to Big Tell, who's superb control and then gets fouled. Hoping that's not a real injury. Logan Pye gets a yellow card. He's already conceded a penalty. He's obviously in a bad mood today, is Logan Pye. So let's just pause that and encourage. We've got a good chance, having gone behind early, to get a decent result here. But we need that second goal just to give us the confidence to push on. We dealt with that well at the back. That could have been a dangerous attack. Banks gives it to Church. Holacek on the overlap there. It's done well. Can he find the square? He's gone to McCarthy. He's put it back on. Francis Church with the header. What a finish that is. I thought the chance was gone when the ball went right across to the far side to McCarthy. But he's brought it back in, and Church has won the header, putting us 2-1 up. That is the goal that we needed. Good movement as well from Francis Church. So just Big Tell and them attacking players who needs to boost his numbers. So even though we're winning, they still have looked like the better team. 10 shots to our 5. I think we need to be quite critical of the team here. They're winning, but it's not good enough. So I'm going to switch to the defensive tactic. Banks is now absolutely knackered. I think I'm going to play Crutchet in that position. I just don't see who else can play there. Definitely he can't. Definitely he can't. Holocheck, you can play nearly everywhere, but that's the one place you can't play. Hall, can you play there? No. So we've got nobody who can play there, quite literally. So it's going to be Crutchet out of position. So as you can see, we're now sitting back a little bit deeper. That is what the defensive tactic does. Church, holding the ball up nicely, gives it to Big Tell. He loves his little flicks. Flicks it to Butler, who gives it to Crutchet. Nice control passing here. Ferdinand gives it to Correa. He's got space to run into. Nobody's come to him. Why didn't you run further? Well, Franny Church has just missed an absolute sitter there. We're looking a bit better at the moment with this defensive tactic, but maybe I've spoken too soon because they are on the attack with the guy with a long name who has already scored against us. He now swings. Oh no, they've got two guys with long names. That's cheating. And he's gone and scored again. I think that's the guy who scored the other goal. I didn't realise they were two different people because they've both got unpronounceable names. A Chimaziri. And changing the keeper has definitely not worked out, has it? So we're going to demand more now. It's a shame that they've scored that goal because, to be honest, I don't think we were playing that badly with this tactic. So Dua plays the ball to Butler. Crutchet. Down to Big Tell. Surrounded by players, but he's managed to find Church. What is he doing? Church has missed two sitters in a row and is getting sacked. So Swan can come on for him. And Butler's having a bad game. So Shepherd can come on for Butler. Perhaps he was playing in the wrong position, to be honest. Looking at it. And that's maybe why he's having a bad game. So into the 70th minute, and Alfreton have the ball with the goalkeeper. It's played out to Logan Pye. Douglas bringing the ball forward. Gives it to Samuels. Chimaziri, that's the hat-trick. And we have absolutely thrown this game. Going for the third tactic of the day as we try and rescue ourselves. Confirm changes, shout, berate. Second time in the game I've berated him. I cannot believe this. We're going to lose. I knew I shouldn't have said nothing before the start of the match. So Hutchison. Crutchet wins the header. And again, probably could have controlled it. Now he has the ball under control. Dua gives it to Holocheck. Holocheck, Swan, Big Tell. Wasn't expecting much from Big Tell from there. He really needed to play a 1-2 with Swan. Time is pretty much out. I've just realised something. Their goal didn't count. Here's me thinking we lost the game. We could be getting a draw. We've got Holochek wanting to be subbed off. Brown come on for Shepherd, and we'll move. What? I don't know what I was doing. Oh, I know. I've done the wrong one there. Shepherd is the one who's supposed to move forward. Harry Clout was also tired. I've done it again. He's determined to take Shepherd off. It's not him that I want to go off. So that's all the subs made. We've got 4 minutes. I think this could be a very disappointing result, really. Once again, we've missed a chance to move into joint second. We just cannot get a break in terms of these top 5 places. We've literally sat in 4th or 5th place for the whole of this stream. And where are Alfreton, who we just played? I can't see him, I'm being blind. Oh, in fairness, they are the team below us. So that wasn't as bad a result as I made it out to be. It's not like they're one of the bottom teams. Oh, should have rested the players, really. I've got to say, I think probably the issue in that match, as much as anything, it is us giving Fred Heath the run out. He didn't play very well at all then. So, training, rest, 2 days. So, FC Halifax, technically we're playing a team in the league above, but I think we've got the capabilities to win this game. So, I'm not going to go for the defensive approach just yet. This is an interesting one. Do we loan him out? I think for how little we're using that formation at the moment, I think it may be worth giving Mensah a bit of a time away from the team. So that could be a mistake, but the decision has been made. Right, so Davis can come on and Brown will come on. At least Banks is looking fit enough to play now. Oh, we could have a couple of extra subs. It's always a bonus, isn't it? Harry Clout can come off now. He's had a few games, so he should be reasonably happy. And Unwin on for Butler. Do we give Jones ahead of Holochek or leave Holochek on? I think we'll leave Holochek on for now. And the big question is, do we bring Pickford back? I think we do. The experiment with Heath didn't work, did it? Well, it's another home game for us against Halifax. It is the FA Cup, so it is a free hit. We've reached our target in terms of objectives with the FA Cup. So if we get through this, it's a bonus, really. But personally, I would like to get a big Premier League team in the third round. So to go out from that respect would be disappointing. Big Tell plays the ball to Church. This is a good opportunity to counter-attack. McCarthy was a bit slow playing that. We did get the shot away. But if he'd have played it earlier, I think we'd have had a better chance of scoring. Holochek turns the ball inside and out. Gives it to Big Tell. How do you miss from there? Come on, Big Tell. What are you doing to me, man? A corner which Unwin will take. Swings the ball to the far post. Brown rises up. Just puts it wide. We've looked okay so far. I don't think they've given us too much to worry about. But another good cut run would really help us with getting rid of that debt that we've got. Correa certainly won't be asking them to do the same again with the training. Devine plays the ball to Smith. Stewart plays to Devine. Back to Smith. This is nicely passing from Halifax. We can't get the ball off them at the moment. We've held strong with our shape though, and now we do have the ball. McCarthy brings it forward quickly. Church. Granny Church has taken his man on, but the keeper pushes the ball wide. Go on, boys. McCarthy won a header. Keeper Douglas collects. And the highlight really will start from here. That can't have been the highlight. A long ball forward. Banks deals with it well. He's done okay since coming in to cover for the injured right back. I mean, we have dominated this game. It's such a shame that we haven't managed to break the deadlock. It's got penalties written all over it, hasn't it? With the underdog being a dominant team, no goals happening. That tells me this is going to penalties. Address the team and say, keep playing the way you are and the result will come. Because I think they've been superb, to be honest. Any changes that we want to make? I mean, Banks, it's saying he's on a 650, but I think he's been playing better than that myself. I don't think there's anything that we need to change. Let's go straight into the second half. McCarthy could well be coming off fairly soon. Correa with a good tackle, but it's still left them the opportunity to attack. Was a pointless highlight though. Davis now picks a ball up at the back, gives it to Correa. We have plenty of players forward here as McCarthy chips. Oh, thought he was going to chip it in. He played a low ball. Caught me by surprise. Davis now runs forward with the ball, gives it to Holicek. Unwin chips the ball through. Oh, what a superb goal. Was he onside is the only question. Francis Church has given us the lead in what I can only say was probably one of the best moves we've done this season. Holicek, Big Tell, Church laid it back. Superb little chip from Unwin. A volleyed cross from Big Tell and Freddie Church. Slots home, 1-0. That was beautiful, beautiful teamwork. We are 25 minutes away. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm not saying anything. Well done, Thomas Brown. Big Tell. Charging forward with the ball. Nobody's coming to him. He's played a good ball to Holicek. He is so good with that ball at his feet for such a big guy. Holicek's shot is forced behind for a corner. Could we literally be about to have an unbeaten stream? McCarthy nips in, wins the ball. Church is not going for that, which is a little bit lazy, to be honest. McCarthy's looking very tired. I think after this move, we're going to start making some changes. Big Tell. Back to Unwin. Long ball forward. Holicek. Holicek with the volley. What an effort that was. There's a few players, including Holicek, who are looking tired, so Duar can come on for Banks. We'll keep him as a fullback. Mensah's going out on loan, so let's bring him on for Big Tell. And Ogbu on for McCarthy. Then Holicek's looking tired. So I would say that Jones will come on for him. Nobody else looking mega tired, so let's keep it at that. For now, we have a 1-0 lead with 19 minutes to go. All the fresh legs on. Let's hope that we can see this through. Unwin with the corner. Duar's in a good position, but the defender wins the header. Mensah plays the ball back into Church, pulls it back. I think he was offside. It's a shame. It was a well-worked goal. Good composure from Church. But the goal was disallowed. We are not safe yet. Brown wins a good header. Duar. They're coming forward now. We may want to consider changing our tactics soon. Well, Ogbu's snuck in here. He's the one striker who does have a bit of pace. And he very nearly found an unmissable chance. I'm not sure who it was for, to be honest. As I tell you, I promise. Correa now with a throw in a dangerous area. Gives it to Shepherd. Shepherd, no one's come to him. He swings the ball. Back post is Mensah. Right, Mensah. About to go out on loan. That could be the goal that sends us through to the FA Cup second round. And he was well positioned for it. When Shepherd swings in the cross, he just peels off the defender, wins the header, and inside of the near post. That will do very nicely. We'll drop back to the lower line of defence and make sure that Unwin and Jones are in the right positions. Let's hope that we can see this out now. Into the 90th minute of the game, we have a highlight, which, to be honest, I would have been quite happy to have no highlights. We're passing the ball around nicely. It looks like they're settling for this at the moment. Jones, a good ball. Mensah's through again. And Mensah has tucked it home again. And it's sort of like, do we really want to send this guy out on loan when he's just come in and scored 2 goals against a team in a higher league? This could be absolute madness from us to send him out on loan. Trouble is, he's just not going to get many games for us. Big Tell is always going to be ahead of him. Big Tell has one attribute that Mensah will never have, and that is an extra foot. Not as in he's got 3 feet, but he's a very tall player. Shepherd. Oh. So 3-0, quite comfortable. I think we can be happy with the performance in the FA Cup. And that is an unbeaten stream. We have got to be happy with everything that we've seen today. And even though in the league we've not seen the fruits of us climbing up the league, I think we can be happy with the overall performance that we're seeing from the team. This has got to be the season. We can't spend another season stuck in this tier 6. It's already taken us too long. I mean, we've thoroughly deserved that, it's got to be said. Another 40-odd grand in, and look at that, we have chipped away at the balance. We were nearly 500,000 in debt at the start of the season, so we've managed to take off about 150 of that so far. Mensah can get some praise for that. Superb in front of goal, well done. What do we do? He's literally about to go out on loan. It is scary. Is that the wrong decision? I mean, I'm still going to loan him out, I think. Hopefully we can recall him if necessary. I didn't check that. But if we get injuries, obviously we'd need to pull him back. So let's have a look at the results that we've had over the course of this stream. I think we can be very happy with the way the season has started. We've managed to pick up in the league, trying to miss out the cup games at the moment. We've won 3 and drawn 2. So it's not the worst form in the world. Definitely unbeaten. The only thing that concerns me is the fact we're conceding at least a goal every game, as a rule. Until we play teams in a higher division, then we don't concede. Over the course of the next month, which I'll probably do off stream, we've got a lot of games. And, yeah, Morpeth Town, South Shields, Worksop, Tamworth, Hereford and Stevenage. I think once we get down to these lower, the end of the month, that's where the harder games are. We'll aim to probably do them before we come to our next stream. Hopefully, by then, we'll have secured that top position, which just keeps eluding us, as all the teams around us seem to at least match our results, and we just can't find that foothold into it. If we were to win our game in hand over those teams, we would go on to 34 points, which still wouldn't move us up, but it would put us within a couple of points of every single one of those teams that are above us. I really don't know how they are maintaining that 4-point gap above us despite our form. So Liam, you have decided to start an Everton save. You're a brave man. To be fair, I think Everton are a lot better. Certainly since David Moyes got hold of him. Jack Grealish is a nice little addition to the side as well. So hope it goes well, mate. I'm going to end my stream now. I want to thank JP and Liam for the involvement in the chat. Anybody else who's switched on, really appreciate it. And I'll see you all at the next one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.